Backed by popular demand, we have it again, creating a top agent. Last year we had Amanda Palmeri, 0 experience, did 15 deals. This year we have Jacqueline Ferranti. She's been in the business for a year, went through 3 brokers, has 1 pending co-op deal. We are gonna help turn her, and by that I mean Dan O'Neill, myself, and the entire Long Island real estate community are gonna help turn her into her dream, which is to be a top North Shore luxury agent, and she's off to a banging start. Check it out. Yeah, kid, welcome back to another episode of Smells Like Cat Pee with Handsome. I'm obviously your host, Handsome Homebuyer. If you have a house that smells like cat pee, is dated from the 1960s, 6 inches of mold on the wall, human waste floating past the basement steps. You know I'm quick, I'm easy. Shlomo, what am I? I want to buy it. Obviously, if you have any permit problems across Long Island, who do you need? Oh, that was so fucking sad. Dude, with a haircut like that, you can't have that little energy. Great. Captain Permit, 516-513-8838. We're dealing from coast to coast. By that, I mean Elmont to Montauk and everything in between. And that's it. Dan.
Hello.
It's good to have you back, man.
Yeah, pleasure.
All right.
Love being here.
So let me just dive into this real quick, and then we will introduce our guest.
Wait, is this like the Smells Like Cat Pee podcast, or is this a separate series, or like?
It's always the Smells Like Cat Pee with.
Okay.
Well, now it's, I guess, it Smells Like Cat Pee with Handsome Dan and Jacqueline.
Yeah, okay.
Right?
Yeah. I'm just asking. Okay.
All right.
As if I was a listener, if I heard, like I wouldn't know the difference. Sorry, continue.
Okay. So everybody know last year we had this kind of impromptu thing where Amanda Palmeri and I started talking on Facebook or Instagram or something like that, and everybody knows I have this thing called broker beef, where I feel like brokers don't do as much for their agents as they really need to, and that exploded into what ended up being a year-long, trial and tribulation that we documented called creating a top agent, in which Amanda went from doing absolutely no business to doing 15 deals in her first year under the guidance of Dan and myself. Which is very, very cool. So Dan and I decided that we're gonna do this every single year, and every single year we're gonna get better. So this year we're a lot more organized, right? We're a lot more meticulous. We have it set up much better, or as organized as you and I could get, because that's not what we're great at.
Right, yeah, agreed. And we have the experience now too, a little bit more.
Yeah, and every year we get better. So I guess the first lesson to anybody out there that's watching is, if you have an idea, just do it. If you have an idea, just do it, and then over time, it'll get better. It doesn't have to be perfect from the jump, because let's face it, nothing's ever perfect from the jump, and everything is a work in progress. So with that, I want to introduce Dan O'Neill.
Hello.
Top agent, running the show, doing big things.
Yes.
Give your feedback on what happened last year, your overall opinion of what we did and what we're going to be doing.
Yeah. So last year was awesome. I think it was really cool what we were able to do to help Amanda and other agents as well, because there were a lot of people that listened to that maybe were just getting into the business and were able to use some of the tips and advice that we had given for their own business. So I think what Amanda was able to do was amazing. It was cool that we were able to participate in it, and I'm excited to do it again. And if you don't know me, my name is Dan O'Neill. I am the founder of the O'Neill team, and I'm on a diet. So.
You are on.
And I'm crushing my diet, I should say, actually. But no, I'm super excited, and I think that before you introduce the guest, I think that she's gonna kill it too. So I'm excited for that.
So with that said, we are introducing Jacqueline Ferranti.
Hi guys.
Right, Jacqueline came to us similar kind of way through Instagram. We started chatting, same kind of thing. It was in December. I was like, you know what? This is God bringing us together. I'm not a very religious person, but I feel like this is a higher power bringing us together, because let's face it, I mean, no disrespect, but nobody else DM'd me about this.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you for having me.
Which is kind of crazy though. I mean, like a lot of people gave us feedback that they watched and listened to it. You would think that more people would have reached out and said.
Lesson number 2, always shoot your shot.
Yeah.
You never know. So here we are. And so Jacqueline, I want to give people the 90-second overview kind of background of who you are outside of real estate. Okay. And then I want to start talking about your general real estate experience thus far, and what you think of the community.
Tell us everything.
I will.
This is, I want you to know, this and the universe this is a safe space.
Okay.
Thousands and millions of people are going to listen to this, but it's super.
Thousands and
can't wait.
Millions.
All right, so I was in the hospitality business for about 15 years, bartending, managing restaurants, nightclubs, the whole 9. I did extremely well. Was living in Manhattan for 4 years, but it was a rough lifestyle. Coming home at 6 a.m. from work, it became exhausting. And I fell in love with real estate when I lived in Manhattan. That was when I knew this is what I want to do. This is where I want to be, and I want to branch my career and start doing this. So that's how it started. And I love fitness. I love working out. Really, that is my life outside of real estate.
So the interesting thing is, and you are one of these people, I always say that people, like I always say bartenders, but people that were in the hospitality industry are, for some reason, some of the most successful people in real estate.
I've heard that as well.
Yeah, Beth, Mike Murphy, you were a male stripper at one point.
I was a cocktail waiter at a male strip club.
Okay, yeah, that's what,
that's
what every girl that I've ever dated says while whatever.
I had a couple of stage cameos, but I never wore the banana hammock.
Okay, well, there's a lot of people that are in this industry, and I mean, it's really any industry.
Escapes and Merrick.
People that have been in the hospitality industry have an automatic higher success rate because you're used to dealing with problems, you're used to customer service, you have to put fires out, you're working crazy hours, right?
Yeah.
And you're good with people, obviously.
That's it.
And so all these things are, kind of give you a leg up when you're getting into the business as opposed to somebody that maybe was not in the hospitality industry.
Yeah.
So the training is good. So talk to us about, so you've been in real estate for a year. You have your license
exactly
for a year.
a year.
Okay.
Yes.
Talk about what you've experienced. Like, I know that you've been through 3 brokers. You're on your 3rd broker in 12 months. Did I take that or no?
No.
Yeah. You've been through 3 brokers in 12 months.
Yes.
Talk about, the training that you received or didn't receive, what your expectations were when you got into the business, what you actually got, and where you are now.
Okay, so my expectations going into the business, I definitely thought things would happen for me a lot quicker, a lot faster than it did. I didn't really understand the process. I felt like a deer in headlights. After I got my license, I was excited. I got signed with Keller Williams. And it was just kind of like, oh, there you go. Good luck to you. Find your way, little child, so to speak. So, I was I was a little lost. Thankfully I had other agent friends, mentors that did guide me. They did help me, but it wasn't enough to get the business and to get the leads, to get the listings, the buyers, cultivating the quality leads. I didn't know how to do it. I wasn't sure. So that's why I bounced around, because I was just trying to find where it belonged, where I would get the help I needed, and how I would learn.
Yeah.
So ultimately, what happened? So Keller was the first stop.
So Keller was the first stop. The first thing I started doing was just blasting out homes on social media. I would put out listings that weren't my own. I would promote them. I would go to open houses, weren't my open houses. I would videotape the open houses. I would try to help out other agents. And through that, I actually got a very good listing. It was a 2-family in Jackson Heights through social media. So that was...
How much time were you dedicating towards real estate at that point?
At that point, this was during lockdown, so a lot of the restaurants were closed. I was not bartending at the time. So I was dedicating almost every single day towards real estate. But I don't think I was doing it the way I should be doing it now.
I also think it's important for viewers to know that you have a full-time job. So
I do, yeah.
You currently do bartend 3 days a week, but you bartend from like 4 to like 1 or 3 in the morning.
Yeah, I get home at 3 in the morning.
And you have been, we kind of agreed on this, you have been an avid fitness competitor.
Yes.
Doing a few shows a year.
Yeah.
This year,
obviously I would love to compete again, but real estate's my #1 priority, and if I have to put it on hold, I will.
I have to say though, like the social. I'm sorry.
I feel like that was painful for you to say. I feel like you were like,
because
that
listen,
was so painful.
It's been a few years. I would love to get on stage again and compete. It's just what I love to do, but it's a hobby. It's not making me money. So.
Yeah. Between the hospitality and like being in the restaurant business, and then your discipline to like be, a competitor like that is. You already have 2 incredibly strong traits that could make you take off in an instant.
Yeah.
I think it's just a matter of like maybe you having the money set aside or saved up, so that way you can kind of dive right into real estate. Because I was in the same position. You're at the club or the bar until 4 o'clock in the morning. Your ears are ringing. You're sleeping until like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Like you're shot the next day, and then you have to do it all again. And the restaurant business is very synonymous with drinking. And if somebody comes to your bar and is going to give you a $100 tip, you're probably going to wind up taking a shot with them. So then it kind of then you have the drinking aspect of it too. So I think really like first step is just to try and save up as much money as you can and just put as much time and effort into real estate like you were when lockdown first happened. And you were doing all the right things. Like you should be using your brokerage's listings to post out on social media. You should be doing their open houses. Those are all the right
Yeah.
things. I mean,
No,
that's half
100%.
my list. I don't have anything else to say.
Yeah.
No, and I guess we'll get into that as we get into the goals and the processes and like what we're gonna have you do. But you and I had sat down prior to doing this and had like a very candid conversation of, you know, what your goals are, you know, financial levels that you want to hit in order to be able to like do full real estate full time, what you'd ultimately like to do in the future, investing, things like that.
Yeah.
So you went to Keller. You ended up leaving Keller. You didn't feel that you were getting the guidance that you were looking for.
I wanted to join a team at Keller, so I went to all the team leaders at Keller Williams and I asked them, you know, would they be open to getting another member on their team, and nobody wanted to take me on their team. They're all small teams. It's very competitive in Flushing and Bayside. It's competitive everywhere.
This Keller was in Flushing and Bayside?
Because I live in Bayside, so you know that company. It was intense. Listen, it's a competitive business. I get that, but nobody was welcoming with open arms for me to join a team. Let's just put it that way.
Why do you think that is?
I think a part of me feels that others saw me as, you know, oh, she's going to be successful. She knows what she's doing, or she's got it. Like, I don't think she really needs us. I think that was part of it. I also think another part of it was it's competition, you know? I mean, I don't know. I don't have the answer. It's just the vibe I got. That's just the vibes I got.
Okay, so then after Keller.
You know, Dan is obviously huge on social media, and I saw what he was doing. And I'm like, wow, okay, he's with Signature. He's killing it.
Money well spent, Signature.
Yes. And Signature just looked like a very classy, established company. And I'm like, you know what, I gotta go check it out. So I went to Garden City because that's the area I want to farm as well, the North Shore of Long Island. So what better way to start doing that than working at a brokerage in the North Shore? So I did that, and I kind of felt the same way at that office. I felt like,
You tried to join a team there?
I mentioned to my broker about joining Dan's team. And, you know, she said, Jackie, you know, I see so much potential in you, and I think you are a strong agent right now, and I think by joining a team is only going to weaken your business.
I have some beef with the Garden City manager of Signature now. No, I'm kidding, but not really. Because nobody ever told me that, so I got some calls.
I don't know if it was necessarily directed towards you. She was just speaking in general about joining teams. And, you know, as an older mentor, I looked up to her. She's a successful broker. You know, I've been doing this for years. I listened and I tried to just stick with it on my own.
Same result.
It was just hard.
So how long have you been with your, so now what's the brokerage you're with now, and how long have you been
it's called the A-Team Real Estate Group, and I started with them.
Is it a team or you're by yourself?
It's a team. I started in the end of September, beginning of October.
And how many deals have you done in the last year?
So I have 2 deals under contract right now that I'm waiting to close on.
What are they, and how did you get them?
So they're both from Zillow, and they are 2 co-ops in Bayside.
Mm-hmm. Got it. So as far as like marketing, branding, you know, building your business, what are you doing today, and what have you been doing for the last 3 months? So
after we sat down and spoke, you know,
before that.
Before that. So as far as marketing goes, that is definitely the department where I need to step my game up. I know 1,000% I need to be more efficient in social media, you know, getting mailing cards out, farming an area correctly. That is what I'm working on.
Don't worry about him. He'll be back.
Okay. Thank you. Love it.
All right, so basically, the long story short is, and the reason why we do this every year, and I'd love Dan to jump in after I say this, is that I feel like every agent pretty much, unless you're lucky enough to find a great team, and there aren't that many, has the same experience, where you're just like, you're lost. Like you come into it, you're like, I'm an agent, now what? And the guidance isn't really there from anybody. Is that an accurate statement?
That's an accurate statement.
Yeah, you don't know. You know there's a lot of opportunity, you see people killing it, but like nobody gives you the roadmap. And that's kind of why we started doing this, so that we can kind of openly be out there and have new agents follow along and kind of do the step-by-step process that we lay out for people like yourself.
Awesome.
Yeah, I mean, and that's unfortunately this business. I mean, a lot of people bring, you know, all these brokers, they bring on 10, 12 people at a clip, and if one of them or 2 of them pans out, well, it's a success, right?
Yeah.
As opposed to making sure that all 10 of those people succeed. And of course, I mean, it's, you know, their own individual efforts and all that stuff, but it does sound like you've been putting the effort in. You kind of already, you know, are putting that into real estate when you have the time. So I don't really think it's for lack of effort. I think it's just you need guidance and you need help.
It kind of sounds to me like you want, like you, I kind of like, I think you started putting the effort in, and I think you got discouraged because, and then you kind of stopped putting the effort in because you got discouraged and you weren't getting any guidance. Is that accurate? That's
definitely accurate. I feel that at one point I did feel discouraged. It's not that I never stopped trying. I don't think I was trying to my full, I wasn't doing what I should have been doing. I wasn't putting 100% in.
So what are you putting in now, would you say? Like, how many days a week are you actually doing real estate? How many days are you behind the bar?
So I'm behind the bar 3 days a week. I do real estate every day, though.
Okay.
Every single day. I wake up, if I'm not at the office, which, you know, there's a lot of restrictions right now in Queens, so.
Why?
What are the hours of the bar? What do you, like 4 to like close?
4 to 1. Tuesday and Saturday. Thursdays I get home around like 3:30 because Thursdays are crazy. But every day I wake up, you know, I open my laptop, I'm making phone calls, I check the market, I'm on the MLS, I schedule showings sometimes before even going into work.
Are you doing any like prospecting, like cold calling or anything like that yet?
I cold call, yes. I should be cold calling more.
How often do you actually cold call?
Once a week for 2 hours.
Okay. And
expires and FSBOs. I go on FSBO appointments also. I just find that, you know, for sale by owners, they're rough.
Yeah.
They're rough.
You know, it is, but this is, and I guess, you know, Dan will get into this later. So you want to kind of, do we want to kind of go into like the overall plan of?
Yeah. Well, I think first off, like what is your goal for this year? I mean, how many, like what in your mind how many deals you want to do and how much you want to make?
I would love to make over 100,000 to start my first year. I would be very grateful. How many deals? I would like to close 20 deals.
Okay. And what's like your average sale price? I mean, if you're in Bayside, it's got to be over like $1 million, right?
Well, so, and then I guess that's the point. Like, we talked about you wanting to be like
the North Shore,
the go-to North Shore Long Island luxury agent.
Yes.
Is that is the goal?
That is the goal. Okay. No doubt.
Okay, so we have to figure out what the average. If that's going to be like the goal, your sale price is going to be very high.
Yes.
1.8 million probably average median sales price.
So let's even lower that and let's just say $1 million. $1 million, right? And you want to net 100 grand, right? You don't want to just make it. So assuming that you're at a lower split because you are a little bit newer, how many deals do you have to do at that price point to make yourself 100 grand?
Like 7 conservatively.
Okay. So let's say 10.
Okay. Yeah.
So
10 deals.
Let's say let's write this down. So you got to visualize it.
Visualizing.
So 10 deals.
10 deals this year.
$1 million sale price.
Assuming you're only getting 2%. And obviously, as you become more confident and more established,
I can raise it.
You can prove your branding. Yeah, you can raise that. So we're gonna do most conservative case.
Yeah. That's something that I would literally write down. I'm not even exagerating. Like I
like on your wall.
Yeah, literally on my wall. Like I write it down like on every single line of that page.
Writing
like how much
down,
literally my first 2 years I wrote down what number I wanted, and then at the end of the year I literally was like $5 grand like above it. It was pretty crazy.
Awesome.
As silly as it sounds, like it works. It's the same thing with like a vision board, right? Like I had this little dumb Cartier bracelet on my vision board in 2019. It's done. A lot of the stuff that I put on there, I was able to accomplish. So as silly as it sounds, like writing it down and putting it in front of you, staring right at it, like it kind of gives you no choice but to like go out and do it.
This first year especially, and the very cool thing with Amanda is that I back to Amanda, and I guess it's important to say this as well. This year's going to be set up a little bit different in the fact that we're going to do a podcast every month. The first podcast is the 3 of us. The last podcast is the 3 of us. In the middle, we're going to be bringing special guests on every single one. And there's going to kind of be a theme to that show, and they're going to basically teach and highlight the things that they do great.
Awesome.
One of those is going to be Amanda coming on to talk to you about her experience, what she felt she did right, what she felt she did wrong, what she would do different if she could go back in time. But the very cool thing about Amanda now is that she's exceptionally busy. Like, she did 15 deals last year. She has 4 new deals this month.
Amazing.
And she, like, I talked to her yesterday. She's like, my phone's ringing off the hook.
Amazing.
So it's just like, this year for you is going to be very difficult.
Just put the work in.
Yeah, like you're going to be talking to us every day, every other day. There's going to be a lot of stuff that you have to do. You're also at the bar full time. Like, it's going to be very difficult for you. But like, I promise you, if you listen to us and you're willing to go through the process, after the 12 months, you will have a real business.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So the first step is we just established what you want to do and how many sales it's going to take.
Yeah.
The second thing is going to be a business plan and a marketing plan and how you're going to, the steps that you're going to take to get those listings and to do that business.
So the business plan, like, now, keep in mind, I barely got out of high school. How'd you do in high school?
What do you think? Come on.
So we barely got out of high school. Like, the concept of writing a business plan is like, I would rather, I don't know, do anything other than write a business plan. But they're actually very, very, very important, and they really set the stage for what you're going to do, how you're going to spend your money, how you're going to spend your time.
Right.
And it's not going to be like crazy in depth, 50 pages. You're not writing a thesis, right? But
Yeah.
I'm going to send you everything, and we're gonna hold your hand through this process.
Yeah.
But the first thing we're going to do is going to write a business plan, and just to like give people out there, I have a video out that basically shows like the 7 different categories of the business plan that you should do. But what's going to be in the business plan is going to be an executive summary, which is a 1-pager of like an overview of everything that's in the business plan. You're going to have, let's say, a page on marketing. And we're going to get very granular with your marketing, and we'll talk about that in a minute, of what you're going to do. Like Dan and myself, we have marketing teams. You don't have a team at the beginning, that's fine. We're going to be helping you with certain stuff. You're going to do it on yourself. It's going to be free. It's going to be you and the phone, but like it has to be consistent.
Right.
Like Dan
That's
consistently
important.
puts out these like movie-esque mini
Yeah, I'm not there
3-minute
yet.
movies
I'm not there yet.
that get like hundreds of thousands of views, but it's what has taken his business.
Yeah, it's the next level.
But it didn't always start that way. It
No.
started with going to open houses, doing live videos, right?
Yeah.
Showing just a day in the life, all that type of stuff. And you already seem like incredibly comfortable in front of a camera and not nervous at all. So, I mean, that's 3 things that you're already ahead of the curve on most people. So,
Yeah.
Another section is going to be your goals. We're going to lay out exactly what your goals are: volume, dollar amount, etc. How much you need to leave the hospitality world when you want to do that. The market. So what is going to be your area? Like, what do you want to work? You want to do North Shore? What section is that?
Roslyn, Manhasset, Old Westbury,
Okay.
Garden City.
So and we're going to lay that out. What price point house you're looking for, how you're going to attack these people, who are your clients, and then how we're going to market towards those people to get you either working on the buying or the selling side.
Yep.
Right? And then the competition. Like Brian Karp has this great thing where he's always like, you want to be the number 1 listing agent in wherever. Find out who the number 1 listing agent is, how many deals they're doing, and then that's your target.
Yep.
So you're going to look and see who are the mover and shakers in the industry in that area. What are they doing? What kind of value they're doing? What can you do better?
Yep. Absolutely.
So after the business plan, some of the homework that we're going to give you.
Sure
So
is,
no, we're being dead
Okay.
serious. Like you're literally getting homework.
No, this is what I need. I need
yeah.
tasks. I like having things
And
to
accountability
tackle.
too,
Yeah.
because right now no one's really keeping you accountable. So like he's mentioned, we're gonna have like a different person every time, which is gonna be awesome. So it'll be like a branding. You'll have somebody in here that's gonna talk to you about their branding, maybe cold calling or door knocking, or another very successful female like Beth Lowe. So we're gonna have different guests in here that are gonna give you different pieces of advice. So it's not just our little pea brains every single month. With that being said, as far as accountability goes, so one thing you're gonna have to do, and we're going to create a Google Doc and send it to you, so you'll actually be able to go in there and update it. And it sounds like you're already doing this, but 4 days a week, you either have to be in the office, or I'm not really sure what the Queens or Bayside restrictions are, but if not, I guess you can do it from home.
Yeah.
What are the restrictions there?
I can't go into my office right now,
Okay.
but we won't go there.
Yeah. All right. So from home then, for 2 hours a week, 2 hours, 4 days a week, you have to make calls. So whether it's your sphere of influence, whether it's people you know, friends, bar, for semi owners, whatever, you're making calls for literally for 2 hours, 4 days a week until you hit 10 deals.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
And we're gonna say
actually, all right, fine.
I'm
We're gonna
taking
say-
it all in. I'm
okay,
sorry.
Fair. Sorry, I was never.
I feel like
right.
Yeah, sorry,
You're
sorry.
right.
Okay.
I love it.
I would say 2 to 3 videos a week as well.
Yeah, so we're basically going to lay out a social media plan for you.
Okay.
So, like you and I spoke about when we met up before, you need to be on all the platforms: TikTok, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram.
I'm on it. I
all that
made
stuff.
everything.
Everything?
It's all set.
Awesome. And then we're going to sit down, and obviously, like my team is here. We'll have brainstorming sessions with you, and we'll essentially lay out how many posts you're going to do per day per platform, and what times those are going to come out, because that's extremely important. Again,
Timing, right?
Yeah. I mean, again, to reference, and I can quantify a certain amount of it, and I'm sure Dan can too, just stuff that directly comes in off social media. But then there's just like this buzz. Like Emily got out of a speeding ticket the other day because the cop's like, "Oh, you work for the Handsome Homebuyer.
Oh, that's
I
hilarious.
saw you
No
in
way.
his video." Swear to God.
No shot.
Leo got free hot dogs. He went to the hot dog stand. He's like, "You work for the Handsome Homebuyer? I've seen you in the videos. Free hot dogs."
Wow.
No
That's
joke.
amazing.
I've never gotten out of ticket, and I've definitely not gotten any hot dogs or anything for free. So,
Dude, you're on a diet. You don't need hot dogs.
yeah, you're right. Good, thank you.
But the point is, it creates this like omnipresent
Right.
buzz.
Yeah.
And you're going to be doing certain long form YouTube videos, and you're going to be doing daily content multiple times a day on the other platforms. and it's going to work.
And don't get discouraged too in the very beginning. If
Takes time.
You have your account, right, where you're getting a lot of likes, you get a lot of comments, but your real estate one, it's going to take a little bit of time to grow from the ground up. So don't get discouraged if you're not getting as many likes or views or comments as you're used to, because everyone's got to start somewhere. So it's really important just to put it out there and not really care about that kind of stuff. Yeah. And then as far as the other side of the accountability, not to cut you off, but I just want to put my phone away, so we're going to send you an update thing every single week where it's going to be, you're going to give us 5 people that you're working with. You're going to give us, what you did that week for prospecting. So whether it was cold calling or door knocking or for sale by owners, whatever, you're going to update us on, the calls that you made that week. Stop videoing me over here.
This is good stuff. The people need to know.
Okay. All right, so you're going to tell us how you prospected. You're going to give us 5 people that you're actively working with. And if you don't have 5 people, it's not the end of the world in the beginning. And then you're going to give us, your phone call summary and stuff like that. And it's brief, nothing crazy, just to show that you're doing it, to give us an update on some of the things that you are doing, so that way we can keep you accountable on it. Because there's no worse feeling than that Friday comes up, let's say, and you didn't do shit all week, and then we're expecting you to send something to us, and then you're like, oh, damn it, now you got to make the calls. Right. So between that, the 4 days a week doing the 2 hours and social media, those are 3 things right away, immediately in your first month that you should start hammering.
Yeah, and listen, obviously you can't do everything all at once. It's going to evolve over the year.
Right.
There's certain things for example, just to cold calls, like he said, working open houses, door knocking, having a content schedule, email blast, right? So as you start to bring on clients, you want to have kind of a constant contact email thing where once a month you kind of keep those people engaged so they become your referral source.
Are you using a CRM?
So we have Salesforce.
Okay.
Which has got to be really
But I know how to use KV Core. I used commands, being in all these brokerages, I learned.
Was Salesforce...
10 different CRMs.
And I know.
Is Salesforce...
I know you asked me that. I have to find out. I have to find out.
So I was asking, Salesforce is amazing, but it's really fucking hard to work with.
I think if you have experience with KV Core...
I know how to work KV Core, very well.
So then if I were you, I would just spend a little bit of time, maybe export everything out of Salesforce and put it into KV Core. That's what my team uses as well.
Oh, yeah?
And KV Core is really good because
it is great.
You could put up, people on drips. You can send them, notes, handwritten stuff.
I know, it's wild.
So I would maybe, it'll make things less complicated, switching from Salesforce maybe back to KV Core and just being consistent with KV Core.
Okay.
But you're going to so I'll reference Manny. There's a gentleman named Manny. You may or may not know him. He works with Brian Karp. He had won the, what they call that? What was it? I forgot.
I don't remember.
Real estate project. There we go. But Manny, Manny is an amazing success story. I think he did did he do 40 or 50 deals last year? Something crazy like that.
I don't know, he did very well though.
So he was making $500 a week working in a restaurant. He won this, he started working with Brian Karp, and now he did somewhere between 30 to 50 deals his first year.
Amazing.
But his schedule, this is his schedule, and I'm just saying this is what it takes. He would wake up in the morning at 5 o'clock, he would go out with flyers, and he would walk door to door putting flyers through Brentwood, CI, whatever it took. Then he would come home, then he would cold call all afternoon, then he would go out and door knock until it got dark.
Yeah, you mentioned that to me. Well, listen, it works, obviously.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So, we talked about flyers. We also talked about you doing a weekly podcast. You have a big network of people.
I do.
In the fitness world, in the real estate world, it could be anything.
Restaurant.
Yeah. We can do it, you can do it virtually on StreamYard like I do some. It's very inexpensive. And we're going to set that off in the next couple of weeks, and you'll do one of those a week. And then you can chop that up and make little videos out of it. It works well.
And it'll help grow your real estate page now too.
Yeah.
You can take clips from it, you can post them out, and some of the things you can do too is a day in the life of a newer agent. You can do education stuff, right?
Yeah.
All these TikTok and reels that are blowing up. It's the simplest thing in the world. It's literally just house music and interest rates right here, and it gets 100,000 views. It's crazy.
And we'll help you come up with concepts.
Okay.
We'll sit down, and in 15 minutes we'll be here's 20 video ideas. And just because you're a new agent doesn't mean I always tell people what do I want to are you worried about creating content at all?
Am I worried?
Yeah, meaning are you nervous about it? Are you nervous to be on camera? Do you feel...
No, I've been wanting to do this. It's just getting started and getting that initial jump start to creating it. I felt I had a little bit of anxiety. I needed help.
Okay.
One thing that'll help a lot too is if you just start following a lot of the bigger real estate accounts.
Right.
You'll see kind of what they're doing and what works for them, and not to copy them, but you can definitely use them as inspiration. And then, or even if you do, I don't mind when people make my videos so long as they tag me.
Give you credit.
Right. Whatever. But, you can use it as inspiration.
Okay.
Yeah, none of
You
us
can
are,
use it as inspiration and then put your own spin on it. But it's a good way to kind of say like, oh, you know what, that maybe just sparked this creative thing, or maybe I can do it this way. And it's a good way for you, like if you're stuck and maybe you don't know what to do for that week or that day, it's just a good way for you to see what other people are doing and see what works.
See what else is going on.
Yeah, or you can always have a quick conversation with us, and it's very easy for the two of us to rip out like 6, 8, 10 quick ideas,
Right.
and you can just record them and go. Don't worry about the production quality of it, it's just the content. I mean, how many hours a day do you look at your phone?
Too much.
Yeah, right? Like, I think we all, like, you get that thing at the end of the week, and it's like, you've looked at your phone for 12 hours a day, like...
The back of my head hurts sometimes
WTF.
from how much I'm on my phone. But I'm starting to call it research now. So
Bro.
when I'm scrolling through TikTok or Instagram, I'm researching.
All right.
Okay.
I've literally seen you, I've seen you mid-bench press set with the phone on your chest, like...
It's something I would
This
do.
could be a lead. Yeah, it could. It's 100%. Yeah.
But because other people in the past have said they don't like the way they look on camera, they don't like the way they sound, or they're like, what do I have to talk about that people are going to want to be interested
I think my biggest thing was, what do I have to talk about?
Okay.
How am I going to put it into words? How am I going to form this? It was a little overwhelming. It is overwhelming. That was my issue that I'm trying to get over.
I mean, so one idea is how, again, you're a new agent and just your experience with
Right.
it. Number 2 is another video of you trying to, leave the hospitality industry. Number 3 could be a day in the life. So you going to the gym, you getting whatever your sets in, you making your cold calls. That's another TikTok or a reel right there. You could do an educational one on interest rates and why it's important to, if you're a buyer right now, why it's important to get back into the market and buy, because interest rates are probably going to go up. And if you were going to buy $1 million house today versus in 12 months, that $1 million house now might be a $700,000 house because
Right.
interest rates went up.
Yep.
There's another video. Why should you sell right now? Oh, you should sell because there's no inventory and it's a great time to get as much money as humanly possible. That's 4 videos.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's easy for
Okay.
it's easy for us to rip through these things. I think
Right.
2 concepts. One, think about it. You've done 2 deals. A first-time home buyer has never done any deal. So right off the bat, you have a ton more experience than they do. Right. Secondly, I think one of the videos you should do every day across all platforms is, even if it's just 15 seconds or 30 seconds and post it as a story in a clip, is day number 1 of a new agent, day number
Right.
2 of a new agent. And you can chronicle that for the entire year. And it's just basically, 30 seconds or less of, this is what I'm doing, this is what's going on, this is the high, this is the low, this is the emotion. And it's very cool for you also to be able to look back and say, look where I was day 1.
And look where I am now.
Look here, this is where I am on day 183.
Absolutely.
And it'll inspire other people in a similar situation and kind of like watch your journey.
That's great. Yeah.
So that's one thing right there. Networking,
Yeah.
right? This is a relationship business. Dan is an excellent agent. He markets like nobody else does. He knows how to negotiate. He stages properly. He really creates a lot of buzz around a house. But at the end of the day, with all that, people do business with Dan because they like him.
Right.
It's that simple.
Yeah.
They do business. Realtors sell me houses because they like me and I create an experience for them. So it's all about creating experience like the hospitality industry and people liking you and your network. So as part of your marketing plan, part of that has to do with networking, right?
Yeah.
Like you're gonna go to certain events, like are you going to 2 events a month? What is it? And it's not, some are real estate specific, some of them are not. Because while it's fun to go out in the real estate world and get drunk with all the realtors, because the realtors are fun. Realtors are a good time,
Be
I don't know what
wild.
you're talking about. I never had a sip of alcohol in my life.
but you don't need to be fun. You're fun.
Yeah, no, you're right.
You're like, yes, I am fun. That's not going to bring you business.
Right.
So I always tell agents, I'm like, it's great that we're all hanging out and having fun, but no realtor is giving you a listing. You have to be out
Talking to people.
different people. So we're going to have goals set up for you. Like you're going to go to, let's say, 2 networking events a month that are going to be unrelated.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, even just going out and getting dinner. I mean, I share the story all the time, but I used to go to Insignia. I literally couldn't even afford, a glass of Caymus in my life. And I would go and get a club soda, put a lime in it, and people thought I was drinking
And just
vodka.
talk to people.
Yeah, and I would order, they had a special menu that my girl Nikki used to hook me up. It was only $20. I would
Nice.
go home and eat McDonald's afterwards. I was literally so hungry. My dad will tell you. But that's how I met Mike Murphy. I met a lot, Asaf. And I would just go up to them and I recognize them from
Wow.
his podcast or from just real estate videos that I was watching. And I would introduce myself. And that's how I met a majority of them, was just going out and, networking. And I think what I would do if I were you too is I would seek out some of these agents that you may look up to in the very beginning and ask them to get lunch and maybe do that once a week. right? Where you go out, you pick their brain, you tell them
Just talk to them.
Just talk to them and just say, listen, I'm a new agent. I see how well you're doing. I admire it very much. I was wondering if you'd be interested in getting coffee or lunch with me.
Yeah.
And you do that once a week or once every other week. You're going to build a ton of relationships. So people are going to want to work with you, industry wise. But you're also going to learn a ton.
Yeah.
You and I had talked about like with investors and stuff like that. As far as like dealing with builders, investors, I will warn you up front, 99.9999% are not worth it.
I know.
There are certain cases where it makes sense, but most of them are just a waste of time and energy.
Yeah.
What you really want to develop, and I want Dan's opinion on this also, I like a mixed bag of business. So like, I'm a developer. Dan and I do a lot of business together because we do. He's great. We have a great synergy. We're also really good friends. But he's got high-end stuff coming in. He has middle of the road. He has lower end. He has a mixed bag of business. So while it's cool that you want to do the ultra high-end stuff, which is great, it's also good to have kind of a mixed bag because
of course.
Because markets change.
Of course, absolutely.
Yeah.
Wait, guys, I'm so sorry. I have to go to the bathroom. I can't hold it in. I'm so sorry.
You're good.
Can I go?
Pause it. That's actually really funny.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
I drink a lot of water. Where's the bathroom?
All the way over there.
Are we back? I feel like all that should be part of the podcast.
Hell no.
Yeah. I guess that concludes episode 1.
There you go.
We're going to put together we need your email. We're going to put together an action item registry.
Okay.
Google Doc.
Yep.
And we're going to be on you.
I love it.
And when you do a good job, we're going to tell you.
Great.
And when you don't, we're going to tell you.
Okay.
So it's like I said before, it's as much tough love as it is real love.
Okay.
Yep. So to summarize, also the other thing is, do you have cards and open house signs?
I have cards. I don't have open house signs.
All right, so that's something your team should provide for you?
They're just horrible, but
Okay.
being honest.
Well, either way, I would get those ASAP.
Yeah.
Because you need your face out there. And you should be handing out your cards at
I
work.
do. I always do. I
Okay.
have my cards in my back pocket at my
All right.
job. I'm talking to everybody.
So summarize, we're going to have on the next episode will be another special guest with something specific that we're going to talk about. But 4 days a week, 2 hours a day calling. You are going to be sending us once a week. Maybe we'll do Thursday or Friday morning, just your, the accountability stuff that you did for the week. So 5 people that you're working with, 10 calls, 5 appointments for the week, and whatever it is that we'll put in the Google Doc. But we're going to put that out once a week that you're just going to type something up and send it over to us.
Yeah.
Social media, it will help you out with coming up with ideas if
Okay.
you need, but that's something that I would get on right away as well. Again, new agent series, all the things we talked about. We don't have to reiterate it.
Yeah. I mean, basically, we're going to spend the rest of the week kind of helping you organize. And then come Monday, it's off to the races.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
You have until Monday.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
it's podcast guests, it's posting, it's calling, it's working the network.
Open houses.
Yep.
How many Zillow calls do you get a week?
I get a lot of Zillow calls, but I was telling Charles a lot of them,
Yeah.
mostly, it's co-ops and...
There's language barriers,
There's language barriers.
Yeah, it's tough.
and just because of the area that she's in. Mm-hmm. So I mean, we'll talk about that though. All that stuff will be addressed.
Okay.
But the point is, you have enough people, you have enough discipline. It'll start.
I'm
to work.
motivated.
Yeah. It'll start to work.
I'll do the work. I want to.
The good thing is you already have the people skills. You already have the discipline from the workout stuff. You're already good in front of a camera and you have the experience. So you're 3 for 3. Now it's just a matter of putting the time, that effort, and the energy into it, and putting structure behind it too.
Structure.
Having systems and structure.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm lacking is the structure.
We all
Yeah.
are. Everybody is.
Yeah.
Even for as organized as we try to be, we're never as organized as we want to be. So we'll get it moving. Dan, take us home.
If you need permit issues, you call Julio Maravilloso and Captain Permit, and it smells like Cappy. And this is the new agent series with Charles, Dan, and Jacqueline.
All right.
Put your Instagram out there for the world
Yes.
to see.
My business account?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, Jesus Christ.
My Instagram is Ferranti Estates.
Follow her. Follow the journey.
Yes.
Show her some love. Obviously, if you have a house that smells like cat pee, what did you say? Piss, Julio Maravilloso, salsa, whatever. Yeah, you know it.
Captain Permit.
516-777 sold. Sell me a house. I'm trying to do 200 this year. We need your permit business because that's how we keep the lights on. 516-513-8838. I got nothing else.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think people are going to be very excited for this, so let's do it.
That's a wrap.
Guys, thank you so much.
Hell yeah.
All right, that was cool.
Yeah.